Thank you for showing interest in the secure, compliant, and resilient risk management model, which we refer to as the SCR-RMM. The SCR-RMM is designed to be an integral tool of an organization's ability to demonstrate evidence of due diligence and due care. This not only benefits your organization by having solid risk management practices, but it can also serve as a way to reduce risk for those who have to initiate the hard discussions on risk management topics. The concept of creating the SCR-RMM was to create an efficient methodology to identify, assess, report, and mitigate risk. The SCR-RMM project was a collaboration between ComplianceForge and the SCF that was approached from the perspective of asking the question, how should I manage risk? Ultimately, the SCR-RMM is a free solution that organizations can use to holistically approach that breaks risk management down into 17 distinctive steps, exists to help cybersecurity and data privacy functions create a repeatable methodology to identify, assess, report, and mitigate risk, offers flexibility to report on risk at a control level or aggregate level, and guides the decision to a risk treatment option. If you worry about having to preface risk management discussions with "don't shoot the messenger," then the SCR-RMM can be an additional layer of protection for your professional reputation. Where the SCR-RMM benefits security, technology, and privacy personnel is the potential get-out-of-jail documentation that quality risk assessments and risk management practices can provide. Just like with compliance documentation, if risk management discussions are not documented, then risk management practices do not exist. Before you progress in this video, ask yourself these two questions about your organization and your personal exposure in risk management. First, can you prove that the right people within your organization are both aware of risks and have taken direct responsibility for mitigating those risks? And second, if there was a breach or incident that is due to identified risks that went unmitigated, where does the finger pointing for blame immediately go to? Instead of executive leadership hanging blame on the CIO or CISO, quality risk management documentation can prove that reasonable steps were taken to identify, assess, report, and mitigate risk. This type of documentation can provide evidence of due diligence and due care on the part of the CIO, CISO, or CRO, which firmly puts the responsibility back on the management of the team, department, or line of business that owns the risk. Risk management involves coordinated activities that optimize the management of potential opportunities and adverse effects. Proactive risk management activities provide a way to realize potential opportunities without exposing an organization to unnecessary peril. The goal of risk analysis is to determine the potential negative implications of an action or situation to determine one of two decisions, whether it is acceptable risk or unacceptable risk. From another perspective, for an organization that wants to follow a moderate risk appetite, constraints establish allowable and prohibited activities based on the potential harm to the organization. This defined criteria establishes boundaries for what is acceptable. Risks and threats both tie into cybersecurity and data privacy controls, but it is important to understand the differences. Firstly, a risk exists due to the absence of or a deficiency with a control, while a threat affects the ability of a control to exist or operate properly. As an additional piece of information, ComplianceForge published a Threats versus Vulnerabilities versus Risks informational graphic that describes the relationship between these components, so please feel free to check it out. If you would like to learn more about the SCF, please feel free to make yourself a pot of coffee or your preferred beverage. Navigate our website and read the wealth of information that we provide for free. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us, and we are happy to help.